And welcome everybody. It's evening here in sunny California, and I'm just chilling out here in my nice, beautiful lawn. And it's getting dusk, so I hope there's enough light to have my long-winded discussion with all of you. I've been experimenting with picking American lock padlocks in the last month, and I was very happy to come up with some rather unique solutions. When I usually approach a problem, I like to do it in a way that is unique to my understanding and my thinking. And there are always opportunities with anything, guys, to make improvements. You just have to look for it and you have to say, I think it would be better if we do it like this. Well, stop talking about it. Just do it. The materials are out there. So I came out with these high leverage hook picks that I produced, and I hope that somebody picks those up. I'm just looking for the right company that is looking to create a strong relationship with me. And it's hard to find that right person or that right company because ultimately behind every company, it's really about a person and it's about trust. And this is a very cutthroat business. And there's a lot of lockpick manufacturers out there, and they're very competitive. So there's just two manufacturers I just won't deal with. I'm just not even going to name names, but you guys know who they are if you're listening and watching my videos, and I know they do watch. Guys, I have to say it. It's just hard to find people that are not just looking to steal from you and just rip you off, and that's it. That's really my biggest issue. It's all about them. So in any case, I produced these high leverage hook picks, and I thought, I've been buying some Turners from various manufacturers, and I had to say they just didn't quite fit my needs. And part of the thing is the way I hold a lock. But is it the chicken or the egg? Okay, which came first? Because you have a lock, you have a keyway that's slanted at a certain angle, as you see with the offset keyways with most of the American padlocks, and you have to find a turner that matches your orientation while you pick. Because if you just think, oh, well, I bought this turner and I have to hold it this way, but if you do that, are you hurting your wrist in the process? Are you fatiguing your fingers? And you have to create that balance between wrist, hand, finger, um, comfort on the turner. Are you gouging your fingernails? Are you gouging the tip of your finger? Is it sharp? Is it just a nice fit, like a good pair of tennis shoes? That's really what you need to look for. And then you need to say, okay, am I able to pick the lock in this position? Because if you're able to hold it nicely and you can't pick the lock comfortably, that's not a happy marriage. So I want to design a top the keyway turner that met my needs. And I looked at some of the turners that are out there. Some are 0.048, some are 0.051 inch, and I just like, can I go a little bit thicker than that? Well, I decided to go buy a piece of 301 stainless steel from McMaster Car. They're a wonderful company that ships online. Usually get things within 1 or 2 days. That's how fast they are. And in any case, I ordered a 6-inch by 6-inch by 0.063 301 stainless steel in full hard. And I thought the full hard was high yield, but I was told that nope, it's not the same. It's actually harder. And I'm glad that's the case because I'm able to bend the full hard and still get really good strength. So that's a happy win for me. In any case, I made this tool right here. And sorry for you guys to have to look at this grass for so long when I'm talking, but it's important that you listen first. So this gives me the optimum capabilities that I'm looking for. I'm able to hold it comfortably. I made it thick in this section right here so I can rest my finger. This tool only measures 2.250 inches long, and I find that the way I'm able to hold this with my finger. It's relatively level with my thumb, and I'm able to hold it at an angle that works for me while I'm using my high leverage picks. So that's a win-win situation for me. And also, well, gosh, this is 0.063. So what did I do to make that work? Well, I think it's kind of intuitively obvious. I took the notch and I ground it down to 0.052 using a arbor cutoff wheel on a Dremel, and it was really, really easy to do. And there's one other thing I really need to say to you guys. If you elect to do your own fabrication out of these kind of 301 stainless steel and full hard, it's going to be slightly bent and the ends are going to be curved from the shearing, and you're going to have to clean that up. So get yourself a good file and make sure you have a dial caliper and a scribe. And if you have all those things and a vise and a hacksaw, and you want to use a hacksaw with small teeth, and use those bimetal blades when cutting this stuff, nothing else will work. It'll just slide off like butter if you don't buy the bimetal. And in any case, also don't use grinding wheels on this metal, because when you do, you're going to heat the metal up and the metal is going to warp and it will twist. And you don't want that to happen. So be aware that metal has grain to it, and you don't necessarily know what the metal is going to do when it releases out of the stock material. So you be prepared to do a little bit of twisting and bending to get the tool level and not twisted and that sort of thing. I think I did a pretty good job getting that fixed, and I'm very happy to show this to you guys. I really love the way this thing feels. I'm getting a little bit extra bite right here and less slipping by going with this two-sided configuration, as well as using the body of the lock, which is what Jimmy Longs is doing with his Christina Palmer design. And so taking those two things in effect, and I was able to produce this. I'd very much like to have a manufacturer make this, but again, guys, it's all about getting in bed with the right manufacturer. That it's about personalities, it's about trust, a lot of factors, guys. So, and somebody that gives back to the lock sport community. It's not all about dollars and cents. And those that understand that, those are the companies that are going to survive into the next 10, 15 years, because there's just too many manufacturers out there. And the ones that give back to the community, give back to the lock sport community, those are going to be the winners at the end of the day. So guys, thanks for watching. And if you have any comments or suggestions, I'd love to hear from you, and have a great day. Thank you.